Hey there, Parker Reed here, and welcome to PR Media, your home for everything movies and music through my eyes. And today we have a review of the brand new 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray edition of Taxi Driver. Suffering from insomnia, disturbed loner Travis Bickle takes a job as a New York City cabbie, haunting the streets nightly, growing increasingly detached from reality as he dreams of cleaning up the filthy city. When Travis meets pretty campaign worker Betsy, he becomes obsessed with the idea of saving the world, first plotting to assassinate a presidential candidate, then directing his attentions toward rescuing a 12-year-old prostitute named Iris. Going into this review, I've seen Taxi Driver before, and I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's haunting, and it's influenced a lot of movies that have come out now, especially darker tales. And it's a fantastic exploration into the mind of criminals and those who commit dastardly deeds. So I would recommend this movie, but would I recommend this 4K transfer? Let's find out. So if you decide to pick up Taxi Driver on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, the only way you're going to be able to pick it up right now is in Volume 2 of the Columbia Classics 4K Ultra HD collection. And all 6 movies included in the collection come in these slipcases that make it look like the collection itself. And on the back we have just a quote from the movie as well as some more imagery. But when you take off the slipcover, you reveal some of the more original poster artwork that I much prefer. And on the back we have some information about the movie, its technical specs, as well as what special features are offered. And then when you open it up, we have that original master Blu-ray disc on the left and then the new 4K disc on the right. Then I'll give you a peek at the Columbia Classics 4K Ultra HD Collection Volume 2, and it's all housed in this very durable cardboard material here. Then you open it up and it swings open, and all 6 of the movies have their own slipcover and they're housed in both sides here. Then you have the Columbia logo there. And also included in this collection is a nice hardcover book just detailing some of the movies, featuring some artwork from the films, and it's just a nice add-on. It's a nice coffee table book if you want to read through that. You're just gonna have to buy it. There's way too many pages here to go through them all. For visuals on Taxi Driver, we have native 4K, and this is in full screen, so you will not have black bars at the top and the bottom. And overall, this transfer is pretty great, but it's not leaps and bounds better than the Blu-ray. The most recent Blu-ray release of Taxi Driver does feature a 4K master disc, so it does look phenomenal. And the biggest difference in visuals between these two is the 4K disc looks a bit more natural, where a lot of the neon and some of the skin tones and the clothing looked a bit too bright and unnatural. And yes, there is a bit of an uptick in detail, but you're not really going to notice that. 99.9% of people who watch this aren't going to be able to discern between the two, but when you get super close in on people's faces, you can notice a tad bit more detail. But these discs are very much the same as far as visuals go, but the 4K version has HDR, which is a great addition to this film because most of it is set at night and everything does pop a little bit more in those instances. So overall, this transfer is solid. It's just not incredibly different than the Blu-ray disc we already have. For audio on Taxi Driver, we have a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 mix, and this is the exact same mix as the last Blu-ray edition. I'm not going to say too much about the audio here because it is the same thing. If a lot of people have bought that Blu-ray version, so you're going to get the same exact thing on here. It's a bit disappointing as it's the only one of the 6 movies included in the Columbia Classics Volume 2 edition that does not have a new Dolby Atmos track. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it has to do with the source material. I'm not sure. I couldn't find any information out there about that. But overall, this mix is pretty solid. You never have a hard time hearing dialogue. Music sounds great, and overall, it's a solid presentation. So would I recommend Taxi Driver on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray? I'm going to say yes. This is a casual pickup. I'm only saying it's not a day one pickup because it's so almost indiscernible from the Blu-ray version, and that Blu-ray version is immaculate. I'm not saying this 4K version is bad. It's great. It's one of my favorites of the year, but it's mastering a Blu-ray that was already phenomenal looking. So you don't need to run out there and buy that, especially if you already own that Blu-ray version. But if you do want to own the premiere version of Taxi Driver, this 4K version is what you want to pick up, but don't feel like if you don't have it, you're failing as a movie collector. The Blu-ray is solid, but this 4K is just a small bit better. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw here, you can check us out on Facebook or Instagram and like, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. My name is Parker Reed. You've been watching PR Media. Keep supporting physical media, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
You're only as healthy as you feel. You're only as healthy as you feel.